Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive into the life and legacy of Roberta Flack.
The iconic Roberta Flack, who sadly passed away recently at the age of 88.
Oh yeah, 88 years old, and we are going to be exploring some news articles and biographical excerpts today.
To really get a sense of her journey,
Yeah.
beyond just the hits from her artistry and her activism to her lasting influence on music
And get this, she actually,
and on future generations of musicians.
yeah, and get this, she found success in pop music
Yeah.
after being encouraged by one of her voice teachers to pursue it, even though she had classical training and aspirations.
Yeah, it really highlights how one seemingly small event can send someone's life on a whole different trajectory.
A twist of fate.
And in Flack's case, it led to a career that touched millions of people.
So, okay, let's unpack all of this, starting with her early life.
To truly appreciate her impact, we need to dig deeper than just her chart-topping hits.
Exactly. So starting with her early life, she was surrounded by music from her childhood.
Yeah.
Her father played organ for the church, and she began piano lessons when she was just 9.
Wow.
And then at 15, she landed a scholarship to Howard University.
I mean, talk about raw talent.
Amazing.
Absolutely. And that dedication to her craft really shines through in everything that she did.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating is that despite her classical background, she felt this pull towards soul and R&B. It's almost like she was living a double musical life,
Yeah.
teaching music by day and then performing in clubs at night.
I love that. Honoring her roots, but also following her heart's desire.
Yeah.
And then there's that story of her being discovered at Mr. Henry's Jazz Club.
Oh, yeah?
Can you imagine playing over 40 songs in a 3-hour audition for Atlantic Records?
It's almost unheard of.
That's not just talent.
Mhm.
That's pure grit and determination.
Most artists would have buckled under the pressure, but not Flack.
Yeah.
That audition led to her signing with Atlantic and releasing her debut album, First Take, in 1969. This marked the beginning of something truly special. But before we delve into her breakthrough and chart-topping success,
Yep.
I think it's worth pausing to consider what drew her to soul and R&B in the first place.
Yeah. What do you think it was about those genres that resonated so deeply with her, especially considering her classical training?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was the raw emotion, the storytelling aspect of soul and R&B music, the way it connects with something deep within us.
Like a conversation.
It's like a conversation between the singer and the listener,
Yeah.
sharing experiences and emotions that transcend words.
You're sure.
Yeah, and this connection, this ability to convey raw emotion through her voice that played a huge role in her subsequent success.
For sure. And speaking of success, let's talk about her breakthrough moment with The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face.
Such a good song.
Oh my gosh, that song was already beautiful on its own.
Yeah.
But then Clint Eastwood featured it in his film Play Misty for Me. And bam, it exploded onto the charts. It reached #1, and it earned Flack her first Grammy.
It's remarkable how a strategic placement in a film can catapult a song
Yeah.
and ultimately an artist's career into the spotlight. But in Flack's case, I think it was more than just luck.
Right.
The song itself possesses this timeless quality,
It does.
a raw vulnerability that resonated with audiences then and continues to resonate with audiences today.
Absolutely. And that vulnerability is a hallmark of all of her music.
Yeah.
It's what makes her a soulful singer, to use her own words. She wasn't just hitting the notes. She was pouring her heart and soul into every phrase.
Exactly. And that brings us to another fascinating point about Roberta Flack.
Yep.
Her back-to-back Grammy wins for Record of the Year.
Oh, wow.
For the first time ever, I Saw Your Face in 1973, and then again in 74 for Killing Me Softly with his song.
Wow.
This is incredibly rare in Grammy history.
What a winning streak.
And puts her in a league with some of the biggest names in music.
You have to wonder what was happening culturally in those years.
Yeah.
That allowed these incredibly emotional and vulnerable songs to resonate so deeply with the public.
It's a question worth pondering.
Yeah.
Perhaps there was a collective yearning for authenticity, a need for music that spoke to the complexities of human experience, or maybe it was simply the power of Flack's voice, her ability to connect with listeners on a soul level.
It's probably a combination of factors.
Probably.
But one thing's for sure, Flack tapped into something special during that period.
Yeah.
And she wasn't just a solo act. Her collaborative spirit also shone brightly.
That's right.
I'm thinking, of course, of her incredible partnership with Donny Hathaway.
Ah, yes. Their voices blended so beautifully together,
Oh, they did.
creating this magical synergy.
I know, and their duet. Whereas The Love also snagged a Grammy in '73.
It did.
This is just one example of how Flack's musical talents extended beyond just her solo work.
Yeah.
She had this incredible ability to connect with other artists and create something truly special.
Absolutely. And that collaborative spirit is another facet of her artistry that deserves recognition.
I agree.
But what's even more remarkable is that her impact extended beyond the realm of romantic ballads and duets.
Okay.
She wasn't afraid to tackle social issues head-on through her music,
Yeah.
showcasing a depth and complexity that many artists shy away from.
You know, that's a great point, and it segues perfectly into the next part of our deep dive, where we'll explore Flack's social consciousness and activism.
Okay.
But before we do, I think it's worth highlighting that despite achieving phenomenal success, she never lost sight of her roots.
Yeah.
She always remained true to herself, her voice, and her message.
Yeah.
And that, I believe, is the essence of a true artist.
Absolutely.
So it's fascinating how Flack could be so vulnerable in her love songs,
Yeah.
yet so powerful in her message of social change.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just about romance, you know.
Yeah.
Her music reflected the realities of the time, the struggles and hopes of a nation grappling with issues like racial injustice and inequality.
What's striking is that she wasn't afraid to use her platform,
Right.
her voice, to address these challenging topics.
Yeah, and this was especially bold
Yeah.
in the early 70s when many artists, particularly women,
Right.
were expected to stick to safer themes.
For sure.
Absolutely. So think about songs like Trying Times.
Yes.
And compared to where she doesn't shy away from tackling the harsh realities of racism and social unrest,
Right.
these weren't just love songs.
Wow.
They were anthems for change.
Exactly. And her courage was recognized by figures like Reverend Jesse Jackson, who described her as socially relevant and politically unafraid.
Wow.
It takes a certain kind of strength and conviction to weave these messages into your art,
Yeah.
especially when you're in the spotlight.
And what's even more poignant is that in 2020,
Yeah.
Flack expressed sadness that the issues she sang about 50 years prior were still so relevant.
It's heartbreaking, but also speaks volumes about the systemic nature of these problems
Right.
and the enduring power of her music.
It's a sobering reminder that the fight for equality is an ongoing journey, and Flack's music serves as a powerful testament to that struggle.
It shows how art can transcend time,
Yeah.
offering a timeless commentary on the human condition.
It's almost as if her music was a bridge connecting different generations,
Yeah.
reminding us that certain struggles unfortunately persist over time.
Right.
But it also reminds us that music can be a powerful tool for change,
For sure.
for raising awareness and inspiring action.
And her impact on future generations of artists is undeniable.
Oh, yeah.
Think about the Fugees' hit cover of Killing Me Softly in the 90s.
Yeah.
It introduced her music to a whole new audience.
A whole new generation.
And artists like Lauryn Hill,
Yeah.
Lizzo, Lady Gaga, and Ariana Grande have all cited her as an influence.
That's incredible. I mean, to inspire such a diverse range of artists
Yeah.
speaks volumes about the universality of her music and the power of her message.
It's not just about genre or style. It's about connecting on a deeper, more human level. And it wasn't just through her music that she inspired future generations.
Okay.
Flack was also deeply committed to music education, establishing the Roberta Flack School of Music in New York. It's a testament to her belief in nurturing young talent and sharing the gift of music.
That's a beautiful legacy to leave behind.
Yeah.
Not only through her incredible music, but also through her direct involvement in shaping the next generation of musicians. It shows a real dedication to her craft and a desire to pass on the torch.
And it all comes back to her philosophy as a soulful singer.
Yes.
Someone who poured their entire being into their music. Remember that quote we discussed earlier?
Yes.
She said she tries to sing with all the feelings she has in her body and mind. That's what set her apart.
It wasn't just about technical proficiency.
Right.
It was about emotional depth, about connecting with the listener on a soul level.
Yeah.
And you can feel that in every note she sings,
Yeah.
whether it's a tender love song or a powerful anthem for change.
And I think that's a key takeaway for you, the listener.
Okay.
How can you approach your own work, your own passions,
Yeah.
with that same level of depth and authenticity? What does it mean to sing with all the feeling in your chosen field?
That's a powerful question to consider.
It is.
But before we get too introspective,
Okay.
there's one more aspect of Flack's artistry that I think deserves attention.
Okay. What's that?
Her masterful use of dynamics and space within her music.
Oh, absolutely. It's almost as if she understood the power of silence as much as the power of sound.
As we've journeyed through Roberta Flack's life and career, I've been struck by how her story is so much more than just a collection of hit songs and awards.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the power of authenticity, the courage to use your voice, and the profound impact that music can have on individuals and society.
What's so fascinating is that her legacy isn't confined to the past.
Right.
It continues to ripple outward, influencing contemporary artists and inspiring new generations to embrace their own creative voices.
It's like her spirit, her fearlessness, is woven into the very fabric of modern music.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder what aspects of her artistry will continue to resonate most strongly in the years to come.
Well, if we consider her multifaceted approach, the blend of classical training and soul, the emotional depth, the social commentary,
Right.
I think it's her unwavering commitment to authenticity that will leave the most enduring mark.
Because even though musical styles evolve, that raw honesty, the ability to connect on a soul level, never goes out of style.
Exactly. And as you listen to Flack's music, you might notice how she doesn't shy away from vulnerability.
Yeah.
She embraces it, weaving it into her songs. And that's what makes her so relatable, so human.
And I think that's a powerful lesson for all of us, whether we're musicians, artists, or simply navigating the complexities of life.
Yeah.
It's about being true to ourselves, embracing our vulnerabilities, and using our voices to express what matters most.
It's about recognizing that our imperfections, our unique experiences are what make us who we are. And when we allow those aspects to shine through in our work and our interactions with others, we create something truly special, something that resonates on a deeper level.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the remarkable life and legacy of Roberta Flack, I hope you walk away not only with a deeper appreciation for her music, but also with a renewed sense of inspiration.
Her story reminds us that it's never too late to pursue our passions, to use our voices to make a difference, and to sing with all the feeling that we have within us.
What will your song be?
What a great